Welcome, everybody. Welcome. Welcome, Facebook. Welcome, Instagram. Welcome, everybody. I am welcoming you to today's open live session as we continue our discussion on the use of Neurographica within a professional field, within a professional practice, within a coaching field, within a psychological field. You know, if you're a psychologist, if you're any kind of a therapist that's in the helping professions, welcome, welcome, welcome. Welcome to learn more about Neurographic method. Welcome to learn how you can use Neurographica successfully. Yesterday, we actually discussed what makes Neurographica an amazing and powerful tool to use within a session when you work with a client. Today, we're going to go further. Today, we're going to talk a lot about what are the guidelines? How do you use it, okay? Yesterday, we discussed what makes Neurographic such a successful, amazing model to be used within one's private sessions, or you can even use it within a group coaching sessions or a group learning session. Today, we're going to talk, what are the guidelines? How do you use it successfully? How do you make sure that when you use Neurographica within your professional field, you have results, okay? I have an amazing, those of you on Facebook, you are lucking out, of course, because you get to see the presentation. Those of you on Instagram, no worry, I'm going to read everything that's written on the presentation. So you will be able to, 1 second, yeah. So you will be able to see, to hear what's happening, okay? Okay, here you go. Presentation time. Okay, excellent, excellent, excellent. Okay, some of you see the presentation, some of you don't on Instagram, that's fine. We are going to discuss further on the rules and the guidelines, how you can use the specialist course, how you can use the algorithms within the specialist course within your practice, whether you are a practicing specialist, whether you are just enrolled in a program and have not gotten your certification yet, you're still doing your case studies, that's fine. Or whether you are planning, you're thinking about becoming a specialist and you want to learn more, you want to understand more, you want to see, you know, you took the basics course and you're like, I understand how to use it for self-coaching. What are the advantages of using it with clients? What are the advantages of using it, you know, further beyond going for self-coaching? Learning how to use Neurographica, bringing the amazing method, the beauty, the simplicity, and yet the, you know, the depth of understanding within the Neurographica method to other people. Okay, that's what the specialist course is all about. This whole week, we're focusing on how you can use Neurographica when you work with others. Okay, so let's start our talking. Let's start our discussion. Okay. The first part will be focused on something that I already spoke to you yesterday, right? That there are 4 types of engagement when you use the Neurographic method. The first type of engagement is called education for yourself, okay? When you learn a Neurographic for yourself, that's called the basics course, self-coaching. The second part, right? By the way, what you see here in a presentation is called a meta-modern quadrant, right? When we take any topic, any idea, and break it into 4 parts. This is the second part. It's therapeutic or coaching field, right? In therapy, we talked about it yesterday, giving resources to the individual for dealing with reality. And in therapy, we use past to deal with the present, classical psychology, right? For the past, what is it, 30 years already, right? I wanted to say 20, but I realized it's more than 20, 30 years, right? Since the creation of the coaching field. In coaching, like we mentioned yesterday, like we discussed yesterday, we use the future to deal with the present, and the past comes up as a way to transform and utilize as resources. This is the main premises of the specialist course. This is exactly what we discussed. The algorithms we use in the specialist, which by the way, we will be discussing very soon, they're in the presentation, are the algorithms that focus on making sure that the client or your students, yes, you will be allowed to use some of the algorithm at the group session to deal with students. I'm going to teach you and I'm going to show you how to do that. I'm going to explain to you how to do it today, actually, but I do teach and I show how to do that within the course itself. In the specialist course, there are algorithms that we, hey, Amy, so nice to see you. Yes, so glad you found me. Yeah, my internet was playing again, so I had to get on and off, but it's working now. Glad to see you here. So it's an amazing way to see how, you take algorithms, and within the algorithm, I show you, this is a premises of the Neurographic method. We set a goal, the client sets a goal, we help the client, we assist the client to set a goal, then we take that goal and we go. We deal with the present using the future goal. Yes, we may go to the past to figure out what's holding us back. We're going to take out some resources and then bring it up. For those of you on Instagram, by the way, you may wonder, I figured since I'm wearing all blue and a blue hat, I put the snowy filter, okay? On Facebook, you guys don't see the snowy filter because people are asking me. But you do see a different kind of, you see the planet. So let's go further. What's next after the specialist course? Okay, many, I would say about like 50% of people, maybe 40, choose to go further and become an instructor. That's why people go for the instructor's course. And instructor's course has to do with the consulting field. What does it mean? It's beyond helping people in a therapeutic or a coaching model field. It's rather going and consulting, teaching people how to draw some algorithms. There is a difference. I will be discussing this further on. There is a subtle difference between what specialists do and instructors do, besides the fact that, of course, the instructors have 9 months of learning, right? We're not talking about the knowledge, but the way the information is brought to the audience, to the public, is a bit different, okay? I will be discussing this. Okay, so instructors are on a consulting level, right? If therapy is personal, this part is more social environment, presentation, talking about Neurographical, and participating in conferences. And the fourth part, as you can see, is the supervisor. This comes after you graduate from the instructor's course. Most people go for at least 1 to 2 years. I've been a supervisor for 3 years. Not sure yet what I'm doing next year. Probably will go. I enjoy working with the Institute. The supervisor's work involves mentoring. It's like meditation, integrative, transformative practices. And like I mentioned, within the Neurographic field, it's mentoring others by becoming a supervisor and helping the new students, working things out. It's also, like I mentioned, leading groups. Again, if you notice in the quadrant, the specialist and the supervisor, the mentoring field, the mentoring quadrant, and the specialists are right across from each other. So there is a lot of crossover, okay? We're gonna discuss this, okay? Now, I do wanna mention about the rights and the guidelines, okay? According, what I'm telling you are the official rules, this is the, those of you who are enrolled in the, starting out in the specialist, you will find out, it's on all the videos that I usually send where I explain everything. You need to sign a paper where you agree with the rules of the rights and the privileges of the specialist, okay? What is the interest here, okay? Let me explain to you. The specialist is designed specifically to kind of allow people, it's a start of working using Neurographica when you work with others, when you deal with other people, whether you're dealing with them in a professional practice, whether you're just showing them. I have a friend who is an artist. She loves drawing Neurographica pictures. Everywhere she goes, she talks about it. She shows pictures, She's not a full specialist yet. She doesn't give master classes, but she enjoys sharing about Neurographica. You see, that's the first step. The first step of sharing about Neurographica is learning for the specialist course. The specialist course starts with doing presentations about Neurographica. The presentation you saw me give you last week is a presentation that I compiled. It's the Institute compiled it. I translated it and added my own things. It will be a complimentary presentation that the specialist will have an access to. It's yours, it's a part of your study program. You take it and you go and you start using it, okay? Now, the important part we need to understand is that Neurographica is a trademark name. That's why you see a lot of times when the word next to the word Neurographica, there's that little R symbol, right? With the circle, R in the circle, means it's a trademarked name, which means you cannot use it without specific rights from the author. Now, what does Pavel Piskaryov, Dr. Pavel Piskaryov, the founder of Neurographic, what does he say? He says the specialists are allowed to use the trademark of Neurographica, not in the way they write the name of the session. Let's say, for example, right? If I'm a specialist, I cannot write, come and draw Neurographica with me. Okay, I have to be very careful. But I can write, come and draw the neurotree with me. And then in the bottom, I can write, this will involve the Neurographic method. So this is the important part. When we do that, when the specialists do the advertisement, they do not use Neurographic as a headline, but they can use it as a description of whatever it is that they do in their practice specifically. But here's the interesting part. We will be discussing this further on, the three major algorithms. That one is the specialists are allowed to give open master classes, group master classes, you can do live master classes, open live, are the Neurotree, the NeuroRain, and the NeuroLotus. And this is the interesting part, guys. Even though Pavel does not allow for specialists to use the Neurographical word openly, there's no need. Because when you write the NeuroLotus, NeuroRain, and NeuroTree, it already de facto means that it's a Neurographic method. This is the beauty, this is the genius of the idea. This is why certain algorithms, like I mentioned again, I will repeat, NeuroTree, NeuroRain, and NeuroLotus. You see the word neuro in all three algorithms? That's the best part. You don't need the word Neurographica. You will be able to put the word Neurographica, when you write the description. We will be utilizing the method of Neurographica. Please forgive me. I have, there's something like tree cutting in my backyard. So just bear with me with the sound. My apologies. And it's very, very important to understand it. Now, another important guideline that I want everybody to keep in mind will be to understand the main difference. Remember, we talked about the difference between being a specialist and the instructors. Instructors come out and just openly say, everybody who wants to learn how to draw let's say the neuromandala, or how to draw the neurocommunication, come and I'm going to teach it to you. Okay, it's a teaching license. What do specialists do? Specialists do not teach, they lead master classes. What's the difference? You're going to ask me, right? You'll say, what is the difference? Why, how do I differentiate? The specialist is specifically designed for people within the helping professions, with the people within the professions that are interested in leading a client or a group of clients. Yes, you're allowed to get a group of clients, whatever you're comfortable with, 4 people, 6 people, whatever. Some people lead 10 people, 20 people. I know people who lead, they do open master classes or private master classes and they lead 30 people, okay? But this is very important. In the specialist course, we focused on the client being the focus in the session, right? While the instructor is just basically teaching. So within the master classes, what is the difference? The difference is that in the master class, we choose a topic and everybody follow the topic, right? We'll all go, yes, maybe one person. For example, on Monday, I will be leading the NeuroTree for financial success, because it will be an opening masterclass for the financial regeneration course, right? So we're focusing on financial expansion, okay? And this is the interesting part. What if somebody joined me and says, I don't want to join the financial expansion, I want to draw buying a house? I'm not going to say anything to that person. That's the right of the person. But the idea is that the way I will be explaining everything, it's like a master class. I will be showing how to use a NeuroTree algorithm to reach your goal. Okay, this is very important. It's a bit subtle, but it's very important to understand. Okay, for example, right? A great analogy I'll give you is when one person takes a taxi, right? The person gets in a car and expects the driver to take him to the destination, okay? Now the taxi driver is not gonna stop and say, okay, listen, I'm gonna show you how I operate the car and I'm gonna show you the map I'm taking. No, okay? The taxi driver doesn't ever explain to you how he drives the car, right? But often you see, like when I take an Uber, right, I often see the map that they follow, and I sometimes tell them, can I ask them, I say, can you take a different route? Sometimes they say, okay, and sometimes they say, no, I cannot because this and this and that, right? And that's an interesting analogy to the instructor. The instructor, when they teach the course, right, they actually explain how the algorithm works, why they draw the NeuroTree a certain way, right? By the way, tomorrow I will give you some insight into the metaphoric understanding of the NeuroTree. Again, until now, this is the very first time anybody ever taught it in an open session. Until now, this has been always a closed part of the specialist course. I'm opening it up because I think it's such an amazing knowledge for people to have. And I want you to kind of be aware, be ready for what we're going to draw on Monday, that I'm opening this up, okay? Not fully, not 100%, but 50% at least. You will hear something amazing. You will see a beautiful presentation that I compiled on the metaphors within the NeuroTree, okay? And this is the interesting part. When you come to learn how to draw the NeuroTree, by the way, you do that at the specialist course. I explain who and what and why we draw the NeuroTree a certain way, what we should look out for. Let's say if a client draws a NeuroTree in a certain way, why, how do we look at it? How do we talk about it with the client? Again, the specialist course is specifically geared about, for how to talk to other people, right? How do you talk with one client or how do you talk to a group of clients? Okay, even if they are your students, right? When you lead a masterclass, you're helping them achieve a certain goal, okay? And that's a coaching field already, okay? When a coach leads the session using Neurographica, the client and his or her needs should be the focus, while the technique and the rules of how to draw it should be secondary. This is the most important part I want you to understand, okay? A lot of time people ask me, right? I have students who are asking me, Lana, if we cannot mention the Neurographica in our headlines, what do we do? So again, I'm going to explain. I explain to them usually that, well, you either use one of the, anyway, you will use one of the three, one of the three major algorithms that are allowed to be given as an open masterclass, right? NeuroTree, NeuroRain, and NeuroLotus. Once people see the word neuro, that will get their attention. That will be very unique, right? It's not like regular tree or regular lotus or regular rain, but neuro. So those of them, those people who are familiar with the Neurographical method, they will understand that this is a Neurographical session. Those of them who don't understand, that's why in the description you are allowed to say, we will be using the Neurographical trademark or method to lead you into a drawing, this and that, and the rest of your explanation, okay? Now, the most important thing is that, yes, you will be able to use the presentation. You will be allowed to give open presentations of what Neurographica is. Most of my specialists, that's what they do on social media. How do people know about them? This is part, of kind of marketing. But how do people find out about Neurographical or people that somebody is a specialist? They start doing open presentations on social media. And again, those of you on Facebook, I'm going to show you. No, I don't have it open here. Not going to show you today, but if you watch the video from last week, you will see it. It was an amazing presentation that you can use and show people how show people what Neurographic is all about, okay? And remember, everything you draw, post it on social media. The more drawings people will see, the more you will generate interest toward your new profession, right? This is a profession, guys. When you take the specialist, this is the way how to take the money, how to make money, okay? You monetize all your classes. By the way, the open sessions that I mentioned, that's your choice, whether you're charging people for it or not. That's absolutely your choice, okay? But this is an amazing, amazing new profession that you are gaining, okay? Now, Pavel Piskaryov says that, actually somebody asked, how many pictures should I draw, should I be posting in order for people to start noticing me, in order for people to start understanding me and learning about Neurographic? And Pavel said 40. 40 is the right number, the number that indicates that you are a professional trainer, okay? And by the way, yes, that's exactly what you do. I remember drawing and drawing and drawing for a long period of time, okay? Now, let's talk about the algorithms, okay? There are total of six algorithms within the specialist course, okay? Algorithm number, the very first algorithm we cover usually in the first session is the NeuroTree. It's the most popular algorithm. It's the most widespread. On my channel alone, I think you will find maybe 5 or 6 open NeuroTree sessions, so welcome to watch it. What's next? The next session we draw, the next algorithm we draw in the first session will be the TRUE algorithm. TRUE is an acronym. It stands for Topic, Resources, Unlock, and Equalize. We discussed during the session what does each word in the acronym means. And furthermore, we discuss and we uncover how to draw a picture that will bring out the resources you need to reach your goal, okay? The second session, remember both, there are 2 live sessions that we will be leading on January 19 and 26. Okay, each session is 4 hours long, okay? And we focus on, the first session was focusing on the NeuroTree and the TRUE. The second session will focus on the algorithm named SCORE. SCORE is one of the most widespread, it's one of the first coaching algorithms, coaching models. Professional coaches use it within their models. Pavel, as a professional coach, took this model and put it into a Neurographica content, the way to draw it using Neurographica model, okay, method. I'm going to tell you now, SCORE stands for symptoms, consequences, no, cause, symptom, cause, forgive me, object, right, objective, which is a topic, the goal. R stands for resources. E stands for, locked in my mind, not emotions, but rather, not equalize, rather like equating it in the future. Yeah. SCORE, wonderful, beautiful, forgive me. I have this noise, completely messes up my mind. But definitely SCORE is a wonderful method, wonderful model to be used within the coaching session. And the second algorithm we'll learn in the second session called the quality of life. An amazing, amazing algorithm, another favorite of mine, which allows you to understand the quality of life, deals with the social standing. Where are you socially? What are you trying to achieve? Where are you going? Where do you want to be? And we are using the social stands to reach the goal, okay? You see what's happening? We're growing the circles. It's a truly amazing algorithm. I highly recommend it for everybody. Now, let's start to understand which algorithms are open algorithms, which means you are allowed to lead master classes to the groups, okay? When you lead the master classes, it's very important that you mention that this is a patented model, Neurographic method, patented model by Pavel Piskaryov. And yes, it's important to mention your teacher, right? In this case, it's me. If you're getting the specialist course from me, and you say, did you have received the knowledge from Lana, Shalom? And you can talk about the specialist course and everything else, right? You can refer to me on FB, Facebook, Instagram, YouTube channel, everything else. Now, the three main methods you're going to use: NeuroTrade, NeuroRain, and NeuroLotus. NeuroRain and NeuroLotus are complementary algorithms within the specialist course. You will be getting them within a recording format, okay? You will watch a recording, and this will be the way you will understand, you will learn how to draw the NeuroLotus. What are the important components? There are levels and layers you need to follow. And of course, the NeuroRain. NeuroRain is about growing one's seeds and reaching the sky. NeuroLotus is a beautiful, beautiful algorithm on how to uncover oneself, right? NeuroLotus is a beautiful flower that grows in the mud. And we start with its little seed first, then we start adding petals more and more and more and more until we reach out and wider, okay? Now, the other three algorithms, the quality of life, the score, and the true, are purely coaching methods, okay? When you use the open models, the NeuroTree, the NeuroRain, and NeuroLotus, okay? Please, this is important. These are the rules, the guidelines. Please use the name of the algorithm as they're patented, as they do contain a deep meaning. I explain them usually when I explain each algorithm, why this is named the NeuroTree or NeuroRain. What is, lots of metaphors within each of the models. Like I said, tomorrow on Wednesday at 1 p.m., we'll be opening up the metaphor of the NeuroTree. Why is it called the NeuroTree? Everything associated with it. When you will learn the NeuroLotus and NeuroRain, you will learn the metaphor of those specific practices, okay? Okay, you can add the general name to the algorithm, like the way I did the NeuroTree of financial expansion, right? The NeuroRain for, let's say, the new year, right? To grow the seeds on New Year. A lot of people I know drew this, right? Plus, you are allowed to present what the method is Neurographica is before the teaching, okay? Again, you get the presentation. Okay, a lot of people do this. They do the open presentation of Neurographica first, and then that's how they gather the audience, so that they start presenting the masterclass on the open algorithms, okay? Okay, so the purpose of this is to present a new and innovative method to the public. Okay, this is very important, okay? When you do any of the master classes, NeuroLotus, NeuroRain, or NeuroTree, NeuroRain, and NeuroLotus, what you are doing, you're basically presenting. It's a very simple, it's very, anybody. You don't have to know anything about Neurographic. You don't even have to take the basics course in order to draw any of these three algorithms. And that's the purpose of it, right? To present a new and innovative method to the public, and also to bring awareness and thus validity to the models. Okay, what Neurographica is, how it works, okay? And further on, if people want to work with you personally, you can use the more coaching models, right? They're more focused on, specific needs of the clients, okay? I believe on Friday, I will be discussing which algorithm you can use for which goals that the clients give you, okay? But then the quality of life, the score, and the true are coaching models, okay? And they should be used as thus, okay? They can be used mostly individual. Yes, you can use them in groups if you are, if you know how to lead group practices, that's fine. But you cannot be using them in public, okay? You will not see an open video session of anybody ever teaching the true, the score, or the quality of life algorithms, because they're very personal, they're individually based, okay? And that's how they should be treated, okay? And let me see. Yeah. I believe this is it. I believe on Thursday, I will probably be discussing how to receive the certification. What do you need to do in order to graduate the specialist course? There's a whole array of what needs to be done. Any of you are interested in receiving the typed up rights of the specialist, everything that I was explaining here, typed up so you can read it. You know, those of you who wants to maybe understand it more, who wants to read it, for whom the English language is a second language, please welcome to PM me, and I will be happy to send you the rights of the specialist typed up in English. Okay? And I believe this is it. Thank you everybody for joining me. I had a huge pleasure of spending this amazing session with you. I enjoyed discussing with you what the rights of specialists are, what are the guidelines when you use the neurographic method with your clients, with your with your students, what can be done in order to effectively reach somebody. We will continue tomorrow, as this whole week we're focusing on Neurographica, the use of Neurographical within a professional practice, the use of Neurographic within the coaching field, maybe the therapeutic field. Welcome to join me tomorrow. We have a very special session, sneak peek into the specialist course. We will be talking about the tree metaphors. It's absolutely amazing. I promise you, you will highly enjoy it. Do join me as we do the presentation and the discussion of it, okay? Thank you, everybody, and I'm wishing you a beautiful day ahead. As usually, since you are watching me, welcome to laugh with me as we bring the laughter and joy and happiness into our life, the life of our loved ones, and of course, the laughter and joy to our community, to our towns and cities, and to the world at large, okay? 1 minute for laughter. When you start the laughter, remember, it may be a forced laughter. You're welcome to do some silliness like hee 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 ho 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 ho. And then focus on actual laughter. It will come naturally to you, I promise you, it will come. When you finish the laughter, we'll put our hands in a gratitude gesture. We thank whoever you want to thank. You can thank God, you can thank the Almighty, you can thank the universe, whatever your personal preference is, we do it. Breathing in and breathing out, we thank, and then we infuse the water. Okay, ready, set, go. Let's do the laughter. You can do some silliness. Remember, when you finish the laughter, gratitude gesture. Thank you, everybody. Thank you for joining me for this amazing, amazing session. I'm looking forward to seeing you tomorrow. Wishing you a beautiful day or a night ahead. Goodbye.